Hello everyone. This is Shruti Sonani, a student of English Department, MK Bhavnagar University. We are going to celebrate with Virtual Teachers Day 2025. This video is a part of Virtual Teachers Day. Let's begin with the presentation. This is my topic: reading the Anthropocene, politics, storytelling, and posthuman futures. Uh, this is table of contents, and the background of the presentation is that the topic is the Anthropocene, a proposed age in which humans have become extremely powerful. And also, humans are now shaping the earth in ways similar to natural forces of the past. We can say that the Anthropocene is a big word, but it simply means the age in which human beings have become so powerful that we are changing the earth itself and almost like a natural force. Just like a volcanoes, earthquake, or ice ages shaped the planet in the past. So, in today's humans are doing the same through industry and also technology and consumption. So, that is the very big problem in today's time. And my presentation focuses on three writers: Kathleen McPhee, Alexa Weck, Von Messoner, and Lark Shaman. And each writer explains the Anthropocene differently through politics, through stories, and through posthuman ideas of human living with other species. So, my presentation is based on that points. First, introduction. The Anthropocene is not only about science but also about culture, politics, and ethics. These are some questions that raised in my mind. That it asks who is responsible for the damage to our planet, and how can we imagine such big changes, and what new ways of living might we need. So this presentation also connect these three areas: politics, imagination, and posthuman ethics. But the Anthropocene is not just about geology; it's also about politics, stories, ethics, and how we imagine our future. In this video, I will take you through three important perspectives with these writers like Kathleen and Alexa also. So each of them explains the Anthropocene differently through politics, through storytelling, and through posthuman futures, and how it's connected with this human epoch. Next point is about politics of nature, and uh, in this point we can find that Kathleen tells us that the way people talk about the Anthropocene can be misleading, and also often we hear that all humans are equally to blame for environmental destruction. But here McPhee reminds us that this is not true. Some groups, especially rich countries, powerful corporations, and political elites, are far more responsible than ordinary people. And the Anthropocene story, when told as if we are all equally or guilty, hides these inequalities. So here we can also find the points that rich, powerful countries and companies have caused most of the damage through fossil fuels and capitalism. So it affect very and it also damages our environment. So it's a very bad uh, time now. She also supports the idea of capital losing, and where the real problem is capitalism, not all of humanity. And also, she believes change must come from the struggle of ordinary people and the ones most hurt by climate change. McPhee also argues that the most important politics today must come from the struggle of the environmentally affected, that farmers, poor communities, and grassroots movements who directly suffer from climate change and pollution. And for her, true environmental justice means listening to the marginalized, connecting different struggle, and fighting against the system that create inequality. In short, she tells us that not everyone is equally responsible and not everyone is equally vulnerable. So that is the main point about politics of nature, and it says McPhee. So this is the main point about this point. And now we have imagining a geological agency. So Messner, that next we turn to Alexa Beck also, von Messler also. So who approaches the Anthropocene through storytelling, and she says the biggest challenge of the Anthropocene is imagination. That how can we imagine ourselves as a geological force that changes the planet over thousands of years? So this scale is almost too big for the human mind to grasp. So that is also main point about that. It's very hard for humans to picture ourselves as a changing the Earth's geology, and that's why because this happens over thousands of years. And this is where literature and stories come in. And stories, whether novels, films, or documentaries, help us bridge the gap between our everyday experience and the planetary scale. And when we read a story or watch a film, we often get lost in it. And here, Messenger calls this narrative transformation. And when that happens, stories can change our values and emotion and even our behavior. So, and when we get lost in a story, it can change how we feel and what we believe. So that is also main point about the imagining geological agency. And good stories also reveal hidden slow violence like pollution or climate change that kills slowly and quickly. So that is the also main point about that. So Messener's main point is simple but powerful, that facts alone cannot move people, but stories can they make the Anthropocene emotionally real, personal, and urgent. So that is the main point about Messenger. Next, we have posthuman and the animal. So, Scamming studies that science fiction novels by Ed Wood and Basil P. So, in this, we can find that Anthropocene through science fiction, especially in novels like Margaret Atwood's Madame trilogy and uh, dystopian novels also, that this story shows futures ruined by capitalism and technology where nature and human life have been deeply transformed also. So these stories show worlds destroyed by technology and capitalism, that is also affected to our environment and also uh, people itself. Then, in these fiction worlds, the line between humans and animals starts to blur. And Edward, for example, imagine the crackers, like genetically engineered begins and pioneer because hybrid pigs with human genes. And in these words, humans are no longer the only important species. Instead, all life forms, humans, animals, and hybrids, become a part of the story. And here, this writer calls this a shift towards zoocentric ethics, and meaning an ethic that value all forms of life, not just a human. So this point is also important point for this discussion, and he explains that the Anthropocene pushes us into what he calls an integrinum, and also a movement where the old human-centered worldview collapses and a new posthuman vision emerges. In these posthuman words, communities are built across species and humans learn humanity. They can no longer dominate everything. Instead, they must live with others in shared coexistence. So that is also a main point about the posthuman and the animals. Next, we have points of tension. That what is the difference between these three writers? So first we have McPhee and Messenger. It differs because McPhee focuses on politics and inequality, while Messenger focuses on the role of stories and imagination. And also, McPhee wants us to remember that not everyone is equally responsible, while Messenger wants us to imagine our collective agency as a species. And scamming also, on the other hand, looks at fictional futures where humans are not even at the center anymore, where McPhee insists on real politics and Messenger insists on story. So these three point of view are very different from each other, and scamming also takes us into experimental post-human worlds. So these three writers write very differently, and this is the difference between these three writers. Then we have points of agreement, that what is the similarity between these three writers. That this is a article in which I can put the information that what is the valid point about my presentation. So this is from that articles, that they also share important ground that all three reject the idea that the Anthropocene is just a neutral scientific fact. For them, it is a deeply political and cultural. They also agree that we must rethink who we are, what a responsibility means, and how we imagine the future together. They show that politics, narratives, and ethics are not separate but connected. To face the Anthropocene, we need justice, humanity, and creativity. So all three agree that Anthropocene is not just a science; it's also about culture, ethics, and politics. And it also about together. That reminds us we need both stories and politics, both humanities and creativity. So this is the point of convergence. Then at the last we have conclusion that the Anthropocene is not only about rocks and climate, but also about humans, power, and imagination. So, Kathleen reminds us that to pay attention to who caused the problem and who suffers the most from it. And here, Alexa and Masana emphasizes that importance of stories which can help people feel and truly understand the scale of the crisis. And also, scamming encourages us to imagine future where humans share the planet with other species. And instead of dominating them taken together, their perspectives show that facing the Anthropocene requires justice, creativity, and new ethics. So, in this, we can find that the Anthropocene is not only about geology or science; it is about politics, culture, and ethics. And it focuses us to ask that who caused this crisis and who suffers the most. So that is the main point of this presentation, and main point about this Anthropocene, and also environment. So that is from my side. These are the references. So thank you so much. I hope that you like this video. This video I also put in TED platform, and I have put link of quiz in description. You can appear in this and get the certificate. So this is from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you.